Joined now by wide receiver from Illinois, Pat Bryant. Pat, man, big fan of your game. Appreciate you taking some time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. Well, you know what? Let's just start right there with your game. If someone's never seen Pat Bryant tape before, describe your game for them.
Let me say, no big physical guy, dominant, great at contested catches, but at the same time, I got a little run after catch. I got a couple jukes in me, but honestly, man, just being that big physical target for my quarterback, knowing that if he put the ball up, I'm gonna come down with it.
And man, it was a fun Illinois team, man. And as long as you guys had like a clean pocket, I mean, quarterbacks making a lot of big plays. You guys had some big wins, but also, like, Bielema's just done such a great job building up that program. So, like, talk me through the building blocks of this Illinois football team.
Man, honestly, man, just coming in as a freshman, his first year in the program, you're gonna have a little struggle, a little ups and downs. But honestly, our second year really showed where the program can go. Just going 9-4 that year. A long time since Illinois had been to a bowl game since then, but just trusting in that process and trusting that success that Coach B talks about all the time, man. He's a great coach, man. He's been in this league a very long time, so if you sit down and listen to him, you can honestly just see the success. But just this year, man, everybody buying into that family aspect and just grinding together. You can kind of see the brotherhood. You can feel the family aspect, like when you walk into the building. So, man, really just a great 4 years at the university, and I really feel like I left the place better than I found it.
And I mean, do it in a time where now it's Power 4 conferences. The Big Ten is as good as it's ever been, too. So it was a breakout year for y'all. And the Fighting Illini were just, in general, a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
But now let's transition to the Senior Bowl. And it kind of feels like it's a receiver class that is still kind of taking shape right now. So what was the motivation to come to Mobile, and maybe what are some of your hopes draft-wise coming out of the week?
I mean, honestly, man, I saw the opportunity, man. I just, why not, man? It's the best of the best, man. Going against the best guys, and my main goal was to see, man, how good am I, man? How good do I go against, great corners, and how will I fathom, when I get to the league? So, man, I got the opportunity, man. It was no question about it, no hesitation. I was ready to roll. So, man, just having this opportunity to go out there, and just compete, man, and just, showcasing my talents, to the next level. It's all on tape, but I'm allowing guys to see it, in person as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you talked about it too. Like in your time, you're a big body guy. You can play that prototypical X, play in the line of scrimmage, go head to head with press coverage, and you're great on those in-breaking routes. I can't remember exactly what game it was, but you have this nice inside. You basically run this little dagger route, catch and run, touchdown there, and that almost is like the play. When I think Pat Bryant, that's the type of play that comes to mind.
Oh yeah.
But you mentioned these corners here at the Senior Bowl. And I don't know if this was purposefully done, but it is kind of fun. Y'all's receiver group, it's you, it's Jaden Higgins, it's Jalen Lane, it's Daquan Felton, some of these bigger receivers. And then the other side, corners, Quincy Riley, big physical man press corner, Dorian Strong, same mold, Darian Porter, Azarie Thomas. So how was that matchup yesterday? How do you think day one of practice went, and what's it like going against some of the
it's pretty smooth, man. Honestly, just knocking the rust off a little bit. It's been a little while since we all played a little football, but man, great guys, great corners. Obviously, they wouldn't be great if they weren't here, but just going against those guys, you kind of see the physicality, man. You match it up a little bit. There's no weak physical route receivers, but going against those guys, you kind of feel the physicality in every rep. Also in teams, so man, great players, man. You kind of, guys have a few weaknesses, so it's been a couple things I've been working on that, I'm pretty sure guys see, in my game, but just going against those guys, man, and just competing with them every day, I don't see nothing but us getting better.
Yeah, it's interesting too. When you look at the receiver position, there's been a lot that's changed over the years to where you can get, like a Tez Johnson, you can be 156 pounds, play off the line of scrimmage, and get these guys in motion. But you do it kind of the old school way.
Oh, yeah.
And what excites you about that? And like when it comes to seeing press coverage, do you get a little giddy when a guy lines up right in your face?
I mean, honestly, yeah, man. That's why I play football. Just the competitive aspect of it, man. And just going out there and competing, and then just being on that island, man. It's a little different. Like that's what football is, man. Winning your one-on-ones. That's what my main focus is. When I go out there and play one-on-one, man, and just win my one-on-one, the ball in the air is mine. So that's why I feel like I'm so great at, contested catches and going up there and making those big plays.
Yeah, you have a great natural feel for stacking corners too, and that definitely comes into that. And then, day one, it's always tough getting on the same page with quarterbacks because, I mean, these are guys you just haven't caught passes from. Yeah. But how do you feel yesterday when it comes to QB wide receiver relationship?
I feel like we have a great group of quarterbacks, man. Honestly, like, with a receiver like me, like you said, with the timing, it's just like, with my catch radius, if you get the ball in the area, I'm going to make the play. So I know those guys, as we go forward and get closer to the game, they'll have a little bit more trust in us. But a great first day, and I'm looking forward to today.
And I would have loved to have you before yesterday's practice, but I don't know if I saw you trash talking, but I always want to ask guys, when the play ends, things can get kind of heated here. Are you a player who wants to talk a little trash?
I mean, yeah, but it just, day one, you won't really see much of that, but probably the day you see just a little bit more. We're going in the third downs, you're making a couple bigger first downs and take a couple shots here and there. But it's third down, like we battling for the sticks and to continue to keep the job going. So I feel like today will be just a little bit more trash talking.
And then Thursday you get into the red zone, and then by then you've seen these guys for 3 days, so that animosity starts to build
up.
Yeah,
yep.
No doubt about it. Well, Pat, last thing I want to ask you. we also cover a lot of fantasy football here. So this is kind of twofold, but it's ultimately the same question. In a receiver room, in a receiver class that's still taking shape, and an audience that plays fantasy football, why should NFL teams draft you? And then for those fantasy viewers watching, why should you be someone who's drafted highly next year?
Honestly, I feel like, man, just me and having that passion for the game. Not only that, but my ability, you know, to bring that physicality to the wide receiver room and that big play mentality to the wide receiver room is which I feel like, you know, I should be drafted, you know, at the next level. Not only that, but that physicality as a blocker, like.
Definitely.
At this level, you got to have some aspect as a blocker, you know, when it comes to being a wide receiver. Because if you don't block, you know what I'm saying, you don't get the rock. But as far as fantasy football, like, I'm that big play guy. You know, when the ball in my hand, something special gonna happen. So, man, I feel like I'm just all in all just a special guy, man. I have a lot of great abilities, and I can't really showcase my talents.
You know what? Actually, I told you. Well, last question. Now, this one I promise will be the last question. I was just double checking. About 20% of your snaps from inside the slot, which I also think if you're a fantasy football guy, hey, this is a guy who can play all three spots, all three downs. But also, like you talk about the willingness to block, and that's a Big Ten trait right there. That's always something you hear from those schools, but especially from the slot. Any openness to play big slot and how that kind of opens up the run game to the next level?
Man, I'm willing to play anything, honestly. Whatever I got to do to get on the field and play ball, man, I'm for it, man. That's why I went to the University of Illinois, man. I came in young as a freshman. Shoot, all I did was block. And when I block, I got the rock. So I had a couple passes, but, man, just my passion for the game, my love for the game. Like, my whole mindset is I'm going to do whatever I got to do to help the team win, whether it's, you know, it's blocking, you know, covering kids, whatever it is, man, I'm going to do my job. So I'm always been a team guy, so I'm looking forward to whatever team, you know, I go to, I'm going to get my full effort.
That's the perfect mentality. Pat, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys for having me.